Welcome to a review for Euro USD for March 31st evening as well as Tuesday, April 1st all day. Before I get into the setups and how they played out today and what I traded, I want to just kind of go over this bull flag that I keep on mentioning. I am probably going to adjust this bull flag tonight to cover more of this area here, as I do see everything from here up to here as all consolidation for a big move that I expect in Euro USD. And probably tomorrow, if I had to guess, with the tariff news coming out, see the dollar weakening, making the euro stronger, and seeing this go up to maybe like 1.1 tomorrow. So I do really expect a huge move. With that said, I also made a mistake mentioning that this was the top of the bull flag yesterday or the day before. It's actually the middle of the bull flag, which I don't always carry in my channels and my bull flags, but because of the fact that this is such a huge consolidation, I wanted to keep it as a point of reference to show that price would likely have a hard time getting above that resistance, and it did yesterday. But let's get more into that now. So from a 4, let's go to a 2 as we can go deeper into the base of this bull flag. I'm going to go from a 2 to a 1. Kind of tell you first off, as usual, I do my levels after 4 o'clock on weekdays as well as Friday for the weekend into Sunday evening open. So Monday at 4 or 5 o'clock would be right around here. I had this as a strong level that I would have loved to have taken a dip in recovery of. We were offered that actually right at 4 o'clock. This is a 1 hour, so I'm going to go to a 15 just so we can see more detailed about how yesterday went down and how one could have been positioned from the opening yesterday. So let's get back to the Monday close. That was around right here, 4 p.m. We had a dip into that level as well as recovery. Give me 1 second here, guys. I accidentally deleted a level there. Let's go right back. So I was looking for a dip in recovery of this level. I saw this one dip here, and I was like, if we can get below it again and recover it, that could be a potential long. It was not something I was really interested in, to be honest, though, because we were not too far off from the high of the day around 849. We were at 814, so about 30 35 points, which is not bad. But realistically, I prefer much more of a pullback before going long, unless I get something that shows me like, hey, price really has high demand here. We didn't really get that anywhere here. We had a candle here that was about 10 points, and that was a possible entry at right at 4 p.m. Then that was offered a second entry at 7:30. You can see the direct tag and acceptance of that level here. So that was when I would probably have gone long if I wanted to, seeing that second test. And that worked out pretty well. Let's say from 820-ish all the way up to this reclaim level of 829. When I say reclaim here, I'm looking at that as a resistance. I'm looking for, like, if I miss this setup and we never get pulled back, and I'm looking for an entry every day, obviously a good one, then I would want to see the reclaim level get hit and dip like this, get hit again ideally, and then push through. We didn't get to push through here, and in fact, we got the opposite. We got to sell off of that, which makes sense to me. I actually texted one of my mentorees that I wanted to see this reclaim sell down to 799. We came down to this strong level that obviously you can see here has been a big up and down bull bear line the past few days. And we got a little bounce, but not much that showed acceptance. So you should not have gone long there, nor did we get a proper failed breakdown or anything. So like perfect level, good way to just sell down. And we tagged 799 exactly, bunch of times today, but specifically at this time at 215 we dipped a little bit and recovered. You can see how the low of this was 799 and it came right back up 2 points. Then we got a second dip of it, or like exact tag, and we started going up. So you wait for this 15-minute candle to see what was happening. It started going up. You don't need to wait for 15, excuse me, but you want to be patient because there was nothing presented to you that showed a powerful candle here at 2:15 a.m. Obviously, I'm sleeping, but just kind of going over review here. But here, after the second tag, and you started pushing up off that level, that's an opportunity to go long. We usually know great moves happen in the Asia time around 2:30 So this was honestly a great example of, UK time, and this is a great example of just a direct level long back test. Even if you want to say, you see we took off from here at 12:30 Monday, back tested it here, and that went level to level from 799 up to 811 ish exact, and then it dipped back down, offered a second entry like a lot of setups do, where we kind of, if you missed it, you would have just been watching, see how we dipped off it directly, probably went up another level. That was an opportunity. Sold back down almost exact, and then started pushing back up. So you would have went long around 4 a.m. here, seeing the acceptance, seeing the basing here. So if you went long around 8:03, this worked out great. And look at that, it exactly tagged that reclaim level from the night, from earlier the night, and then sold off again. Absolutely great action. I told my friend, my mentoree, that I wanted to see a failed breakdown of the previous day's low. We've been getting a lot of awesome failed breakdowns almost daily, and that's exactly what we got. So I want to break this down now because this is a very important setup. This is my key setup, the failed breakdown, and after that will be like a dip in recovery of a major zone, major level. And the white lines are major, as we know. Orange are minor. Orange are for more profit taking and confluence. White are what I'm looking for, ideally for setups to present. And what do we get here? So we sold through and we closed above the level slightly, which is good sign. This green line is a couple points above these lows. This is a cluster of lows. Ideally, I'm looking at the lowest low, but in general, I want to be a couple points above this after dipping below to go long. So here we went below. The red line represents the low right here, just so you can see. I don't usually have that out, but this is just for educational purposes. So again, here we went below that price at 730. We pushed through and sold back down through the trigger at 745. That's when my mind was ready to go long. I see that we got the push through and then sold back down. That's my favorite setup. So now I'm waiting for another candle to go right through the trigger, and at 8 o'clock, that's exactly what we got. So I went long around 787. I got my 7-8 points to 795, a little bit more. I sold most of my position up there, and then we came back down. Now sometimes you can sell your break even and not risk more, but if you really want to stay involved, you want to kind of be patient with that break even and keep that below here if you can, if you trust your setups, if the zone makes sense. In this case, I did trust the setup. I knew that we were probably going to get a little bit more because it was pretty good setup, A plus honestly. So I was just watching. I saw this one candle here. I thought that would be the candle that would allow this to take off. Again, mind you, I already got my 8 points, so I'm already chilling now. But then we got another candle that flushed that low, that probably trapped people that thought the same thing, that this was a candle before takeoff. And when I saw that, I was considering adding a little bit back to my position. And then we took off right from that level, started going up. I added a little bit more up here, and then we hit this level again. I didn't sell any of my position yet. Came back down. I still held my position, and then we took off, and we had a nice 24-point candle there. So awesome failed breakdown of the previous day's low. We sold below the red line, which was the previous low. We pushed through the trigger, which is a couple points above the previous low. That's what I call failed breakdown, a liquidity grab, a liquidity sweep. When price goes under a previous low, that's recent. That low is at least 6, 7 points, 8 points minimum ideally. This one's much more than that, so it's a good setup. And then it gives you some acceptance. Here we went through the trigger, dip back down, and then push back up. That's acceptance in general form. And then we get a level to level move, and then we hold on for more if we can. From there, as you can see, we back tested the breakdown area and this strong zone. Back tested it again and a third time before selling back and offering a second entry around 3-4 o'clock here. Now I had a mentoree go long right here on this candle. Not the worst thing, but it's not really great momentum, as we went from 785 to 790, which is 5 points, but you didn't really see much of a momentum candle. However, if you want to enter that position, what you could do maybe is enter a small starter position to test the waters. In this case, I don't like doing this too often, but it's a possibility. And then you wait for price to accept over that level, which it did. See, we got here at 245, and then we kind of back tested the level again around 345, 1 whole hour, and then we started pushing back up. and then you can go long around here and then just play that level to level. So I'm gonna get back to the charts. I need to set up the levels for tonight. It's a little late. Just wanted to go over this awesome liquidity grab, failed breakdown, my bread and butter. This is also kind of a dip in recovery, but because we have a failed breakdown opportunity with these lows, we can just call it that. If these lows were like higher up here, then this can be considered a dip in recovery. You would still go along the same way. You'd wait for price to go below, ideally, our exact tag, bounce up. You want to see that hold. The best setup is when it goes through a couple points, comes back down, and then pushes back up, because that way you can get in closer to your entry. Sometimes price goes all the way up and comes back down but still stays above entry, so you're forced to enter a couple points above, and that results in you having to be really quick with profits, because I can't guarantee more than 7-8 points with the setup every time. But if you keep a runner and you're confident of your setup, then you'll get the ability to have some positioning for this bigger move and not feel like you're missing out on anything. So have a great night. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'm going to start definitely sharing more videos about my setups and how the market works, and hopefully get the levels out to you guys as soon as possible.